Abusini kuma awo channel so haxi age politics avenue. Onia yombo emra a story na ayan wa subscribe to the channel adi amame. Na Kevin Taylor dwumadi so ana wa kyerɛ 300 companies a year can ofori Atta ne dia. Na wose na obisa a year BN9 ene OSP mu. Sɛ adentina sa ajapade no a eye papa ne dia no. Mumfa tabo ento so because adwuma no adwuma esan esende niska ewo amanane a osan edukutia Ghana na onua nani abrepa anya asemkotoa na mbɛhwɛ sɛ yemo wansi minum abra owura no agembre na oboyi nkyiremu efasa nsemuzie hu
enti ye jimi ntia santam Ghana nhye di nsem na nkofo for atamra. You people think we are stupid, right? And you see, this is where I get so mad. This is where I get so mad with the Yoku. This is where I get so mad with the Attorney General especially. This is where I get so mad with OSP, who is not a reasonable human being. You know why? Why is that Kenoforiata? Every Ghana ha. Now Kenoforiata were over 300 companies for Ghana. Now none of these companies has been shut down. Why? If we are using the Interpol or whatever to get for Kenoforiata back home, and Kenoforiata thinks he can evade that by going behind some technicalities. Whatever is making Kenoforiata raise money from Ghana to be using out of the nation, why don't you shut all those companies down? Because there are laws that clearly state that when the state is looking for you and you evade, and as some time pass and you are not able to show up, that you have to in court or whatever, the state has the right to take or confiscate all your properties. So why are we still in Ghana not taking over Kenoforiata's properties? It means the Attorney General is not doing his work. The OSP, you all know, is a junkie, doesn't know what he's doing. He's protecting criminals as a special prosecutor, which we all know. Now, I'm talking to the Attorney General. Why is it that Kenoforiata's properties in Ghana, over 300 properties, making millions of dollars for him from our economy, being sent to him abroad? Why are we not taking over Kenoforiata's properties? Why are we not taking over his companies? Why are we sitting here and saying we need Kenoforiata back? Because the companies in Ghana, they are making millions and billions for Kenoforiata, and he built those companies on us. Any interest of the building companies, the money Kenoforiata made in Ghana to build all those companies, those monies are our monies. So we have the jurisdictional right. Our jurisdiction as money, we need to make sure we confiscate every single company that belongs to Kenoforiata. Mr. P, Mr. S, go into the group of companies. When you enter data bank, the Kenoforiata's group of companies, it is there. Let me show them the number of companies Kenoforiata or Ghana ha. Attorney General. What kind of nonsense is this? And we sit in Ghana, we entertain bullshit. The guy is not going to come into the companies of Ghana. Why are we not confiscating everything? Because every dime that data bank makes, every dime that his insurance company makes, that money is sent to Kenoforiata back in America. So cut that blood off. Cut that blood off. If you don't cut that blood off, Kenoforiata will be living outside, not wanting to come and account for his stewardship. He will be making money out of us indirectly. Are we stupid? And the Attorney General is walking around wearing suit and speaking grammar. What are you doing about that? Or you are scared of Kenoforiata, or you are being paid as an Attorney General. So get to work and make sure you go to court to seek the necessary permission to confiscate every single company that belongs to Kenoforiata, Enterprise Insurance, and the nonsense. We need to take it away from him. But we sit in Ghana, we don't want to take action. Yes, the press conference. The guy is still taking our blood. He's still making money from Ghana. Why are we making these foolish people take advantage of us like that? And this government, I am so disappointed in the Attorney General. I don't know the kind of work you are doing. We trusted the OSP, who is not trusted by even a dog. Nobody trusts the OSP of Ghana. He basically is working for the MPP. We know he has committed a lot of sins. He's scared to leave that position. That OSP has been compromised. There's no doubt about it. He's not going to do any shit for you people. That OSP sitting there, he's been compromised to the point he cannot do shit. He's there protecting criminality. Now, you, the Attorney General, who needs to show something, you are sitting there. I don't know whether you have connection with Kenoforiata, you are benefiting from his money. Why are you not going after his properties? Because the law says it clearly. If at the point, the government has the right to seize every single property you are involved in. So why are we sitting here? Over 200 companies. which is owned by Kenoforiata, they are still making money and sending it to Europe, America for Kenoforiata. And every time we speak like this, and they will say, we don't respect you people. You are not doing your job. The Attorney General is slowing everything down. This Attorney General is not effective. If you want to show us you are effective, if we need to get Ochina. If the Kenoforiata guy wants to stay in America using technicalities, we get it. But Ochina skin, no, we need the skin of the Ochino. Because the moment you take the skin off, that Ochino cannot survive in a jungle. The moment you take the skin off, Ochino will get diseases. Ochino cannot sleep. Ochino cannot even lay in the grass because he's going to be uncomfortable. That is why Ochino wonamno, Ochino wonamkono enono. So go after his property. When you what kind of Attorney General job are you people doing? A nonsense in this country.
Mechanically. Does it make sense to you? So also gold, would you cut oil? Gold for oil. Why don't you sell your gold, make the money and go and buy the oil and go through a middleman? Me man go school. But economics in a gumitrimu keke. Man go school. Simple things that we can do. And I'm surprised. You see, we have the men. We are hailing this. We are hailing gold for oil. Jesus Christ. We need to move. Move. Mechanically. Does it make sense to you? So also gold, would you cut oil? Gold for oil. Why don't you sell your gold, make the money and go and buy the oil and go through a middleman? Me man go school. But economics in a gumitrimu keke. Man go school. Simple things that we can do. And I'm surprised. You see, we have the men. We are hailing this. We are hailing gold for oil. Jesus Christ.
Simple things. You make it complicated. Now, if you put the pressure back to government and so, because the Attorney General is failing to do his job. Simple things you can do. Simple things. Ayanini will talk, lecture everybody, and every day he's going here, he's entering here. Simple things. Take it to court and let court say you cannot take over the companies. Take it to court and prove that you are the Attorney General. This guy, whether it's a co-founder, as far as he has shares in that company, shut the activities down. At a point, we overlook law and look at patriotism. The judge sitting there needs to understand. We want our money back. He's a Ghanaian like yourself. He's traveled to America. He doesn't want to come. A reasonable, rational judge will be like, yes, we also want accountability. So no matter what, whether it's a partnership or full ownership, I am seizing your operations from today. That is what you do as a nation. That is what patriotism means. And the Attorney General was trying to wear a suit. No, a jalalas, no, Cambrofuwe, and you know me, and we know your credentials. Do the job. We know all your credentials. You are a good lawyer. We know your expertise. What are you doing? Let us see something. Simple things. Simple things. So if Kenoforiata has 200 companies and over, and he is a shareholder in those companies, what we know is we want Kenoforiata to feel the pain. As a nation, we should find ways to seize the operations of those companies. And what makes it better for you as an Attorney General is that there are laws that clearly state that when somebody is needed for accountability and evades, what we can do is we can confiscate their company. It did not say half or full. As far as he's part of a company, that company, he has shares in it, we can confiscate the company. So what kind of drama are we doing in Ghana? Honorable. This is not about simple things. You are putting pressure on the government for no reason. For no reason, you, the Attorney General, you are putting pressure on the government for no reason. Because simple things you cannot do. Simple things you cannot do. You are doing everything. That is why the biggest problem for this nation is we appointing members of parliament as an Attorney General. It is not good. To appoint a member of parliament as Attorney General is the beginning of our problems in this nation. And it does not apply to only the NDC. consistently we have appointed attorney generals who are members of parliament, who are part of the legislature, whose friends are there. He cannot penalize them because he's one of them. He's a politician, he's a member of parliament, he's protecting his friend and his friend is protecting him. It's all about keeping the seats. So going forward, we need attorney generals who are not affiliated to any constituency. Attorney generals who are professional lawyers who can stand in and speak. Because as much as Ayenini is a good lawyer, a very effective man, the issue is his deficiencies come from parliament because he's a member of parliament. And that is the beginning of Ayenini's weakness. Let us be blunt and straightforward. The weakness of Ayenini is because he's a member of parliament. Because at the end of the day, he's in a mix. At the end of the day, he's a parliamentarian. At the end of the day, it's all about keeping my seat. At the end of the day, I don't have to offend another parliamentarian so that it comes against me. So it is basically, he finds himself in a place where he cannot fully exhibit his powers. I like him, a very straightforward, honorable man, very, very rigid in his decisions, but he's clamped. And that is the mistakes we make as country, as a nation. And I think, Mr. President, we moving forward, we need to think about these things. We, the people discussing Ghana politics, we need to make sure some positions are positions we are not supposed to hand over to members of parliament who are representing constituencies. No matter how effective that person is, as far as it's coming from parliament, as an attorney general, is not going to be fully effective. Because Senka Yenini, onye MPR, and more effective than what we are seeing. I'm telling you. Ayenini goes to parliament. His colleague parliamentarian comes. Oh, bugger, you know, this person you are chasing, you know what it means. What if we are chasing somebody who is from Ayenini's constituency and that person is a hardened criminal, but at the end of the day, that criminal is also helping the people in the community? Can Ayenini jail that person? He can't. Because when he touches that person, it's like going after El Chapo. It is like going after El Chapo, because El Chapo was seen as a god in his constituency or his community or his place he lives. Because of the money he was getting illegally, he was using the money to help the people. Now, do you say because El Chapo is using cocaine money to help his people, he doesn't have to face the law? He has. But can we do that? We can't, because the seat is a priority. Because without a seat, I can't be an attorney general. That is why, to save them, we make sure we take attorney generals, sensitive positions, not from parliament. We take independent people who are not affiliated to the legislature to come and lead those institutions. And this is not a personal thing against Ayenini. I'm making you understand why he himself is struggling as an attorney general. I am making you understand. This is pure politics I'm talking to you about. That is why Ayenini is struggling. He's struggling because he's got so much branches in parliament. He's a family member in parliament, and it becomes difficult for him to go against his family. To go, let's say, Chenka Chairman won't to me. Bonia Odi Ayenini constituency and to me. You know why? Because if you jail Chairman won't to me, even though the community, they know he's a criminal, he has done galamsey, he has destroyed lives, it will be tough. You know why it's going to be tough? It is because anytime you take that guy to jail, it's going to affect your seats. It becomes more easy when the person is not from your constituency. When the person you are chasing is not going to affect the seats that you are on, the seats that brought you to parliament, the seats that gave you that position. That's why we need to be very careful when we are choosing people to lead positions, especially sensitive positions. Why do you think the Yoko boss, he has no problems? He can go after anybody. You know why? Because he does not hold any political positions in the constituency. And I don't even think that guy has a constituency. Raymond Atta, I don't think he has a place that he say, I'm going to do this and get a seat. So he's working as a crazy chicken. If the trap gets you, we'll come after you. Because the end game is not to protect any friend, not to keep any constituency. And that is what we need to learn as a people. This is not personal against Ayenini, but I can tell you Ayenini is struggling because he's a parliamentarian. Thank you, Mr. S. Let me show you these companies. Thank you, team. And these are companies. Mr. S, should I use the second one? Okay. Let me show you. These are all companies Ken Ofori-Atta owns fully or has shares in them. I have 2 minutes to change the topic. These are companies that Ken Ofori-Atta is associated with. They own fully. Any they own shares in. And these companies are all making money. Where does the money go? Ken Ofori-Atta takes his share. So the person we are chasing after, that we want to take our money, he is still having business in Ghana and making money out of us. Now, let me show you. These are the companies affiliated. Kenofurata is affiliated to, or affiliated with, whatever you want to say. Data Bank Group, Data Financial Holdings Limited, Data Brokerage Limited, Data Bank Asset Management Services, Data Impact Investment Fund Limited, Ventures and Acquisition Ghana Limited, Enterprise Group PLC, Enterprise Insurance Company Limited, Enterprise Life Assurance Company Limited, Enterprise Trustees Limited, Enterprise Properties Limited, AAFSME Fund LLC, Trust Bank Limited, The Gambia, International Bank, Liberia Limited, BK Group PLC, Rwanda. These are companies that Kenofurata has shares in. 99% of the companies are all Ghanaian-based companies. Why have we not taken over these companies? Because if you want the guy to come, Data Bank Financial Holdings Limited, some of them, he's a full owner, and some too, he's a partner. Why are we sitting here? And then we can bring Kenofurata. Hit where it hurts. That is what you do. Hit where it hurts. All these things, when you hit it, it will hurt him. You can even extend it to Liberia, extend it to Rwanda, extend it to Gambia, make a case there. But we are sitting here speaking grammar. Everyday grammar. We know the law, but we cannot implement the law. All these companies, 99% of them are Kenofurata there. At least every company he makes $1 from, we have the right as Ghanaians, if they operate in Ghana, to confiscate, to stop their services, to make it hurt. Why do you? So because when you stop them from working, his partners will put pressure on him. Because of you, now we cannot work in Ghana. Because of you, we have been shut down. Because of you, the government has taken over. Now he will feel the heat. The heat is that he either steps away totally for his shares to be taken away from him, or that is what you do. You hit where it hurts. You look at the person and see, where can I hit him that it will hurt? But Ken is still enjoying from our own monies. The fight against corruption can be fought easily. We are making it complicated and complex. We the politicians, we the people who think that we are too wise, we are making the fight against corruption difficult. This is where we are today. We cannot do any nonsense. And you see, the most painful aspect is that when you do this as a nation, as a government, we don't understand. The law has to be tested. No law will be tested. President will come out, issue an executive order, everything linked to Kenofurata should be shut down. But we sit here, we want to manage the country like we are selling Eldam Reku's album, like we are selling Daddy Luma's cassettes. We go to people, we just want to convince them to buy. And you know, the nonsense we are entertaining, and then corruption. That is the nonsense. We look at the way public servants are duping the nation. Maybe President, I will start all my investigations from public servants. Those who are working in the ministries, I will leave the minister. I will leave they will send me to the minister where the money is going. Dear power Ghana, corruption, those public servants, chief directors, accountant, you start with them. When you press their balls, they will tell you who took the money up there. But we stand up and then we will go. We are going after this politician. Politicians are actors. They are actors. And we need to get these things right. All these companies belong to Kenofurata. Most of them belongs to him. Some of them, he is a part owner. So what are we doing in Ghana? Ayeni, and my brothers, you know, and my experience. We know your experience. We know your record. You're a great lawyer. You are an exceptional lawyer. Very good. But you're not doing the right thing. You are not looking at the right places. After this short break, we will enter into vigilantism in Ghana. But before that, Mamen Chomo, the president and the Kwachi Ofosu spoke, and he put some information out. What are the information? I'll say President Mahama is famed for his investment in mega world-class infrastructure. Now, he delivered Terminal 3 at the Accra International Airport, the massive MPS terminal at the Tema Harbour, found $400 million for...
We and some who team course watching on the so. Mammy and I was so generous. I sent us over needed to be the media. Yeah, it was saying,